So on yesterday, they finally announced the new hires. All right. And I want to talk about the new hires just a little bit, John. And here we go. All right, we got defensive coordinator. Now we knew Steve Wilks was going to be the defensive coordinator, offensive passing game specialist Klint Kubiak, defensive quality control Jacob Webster, and then coaching operations assistant Max Molz. Now, is that the boombox guy? I'm just curious.
That was one of the positions that was the boombox guy. We'll
Gotcha.
see if he if that's part of his repertoire. But it's interesting. And I'll say this. The 49ers have been the most poached team as far as players, front office, and coaches. Like you
Yeah.
name it, you work for Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, you're going to get paid. And so, I truly believe that they're the best in the NFL at working the practice squad and elevating and developing those types of players. Manuel Mosley, Aziz, Ross Dwelly. Good gosh, they have done such a good job. So to be a defensive quality control coach, and I forget, I was hanging out with my old coaching buddies this past week. We went on a ski trip up to Mammoth, you know me. And we were just talking. It was a long drive. It's like 5 hours to Mammoth. And I was like, all right, you've been doing this for a minute. If you could go back and start your coaching career over, what would you do differently? And we both said the same thing. You'd go be a GA or a quality control coach. GA is the same thing at the college level for a coach that you believe in and do all the grunt work and just work your way up. And that's what the defensive quality control coach is. And that's exactly what I would do. That's where Shanahan got his start coaching for John Gruden in Tampa. That's where McVay got his job in Washington, being a quality control for Kyle. And so you just start to see the system churning. And these names that we might not know much about today, they're going to be the coaches in a decade.
Hey, hey, we'll take it, and I'll take it.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit more about Steve Wilks. We've kind of like put his name to bed a little bit. The one area that the San Francisco 49ers chose to target in free agency is the defensive side. And they finally started to give Steve Wilks some pieces in that secondary. What are we going to get from Steve Wilks, John? Does he have a different philosophy? He's going to try to bring something different here with the San Francisco 49ers. What's the key difference between a Wilks defense and a D'Amico Ryans defense?
I think we're going to see the transition from a linebacker-centric focused with scheme and all those things to a DB focused. And here's what I mean by that. If you look at D'Amico or Robert Saleh, right, they were linebacker coaches. They were linebacker players. Like, that's what they were. But now with the Niners having the best linebacker in football in Fred Warner, I would say a top 5 linebacker, the best linebacking core in the NFL with Dre Greenlaw. If you get to elevate that DB play, and I say DB because it's not just corners or safeties, it's both. And again, you listen to these names that Steve Wilks have coached. And I keep going back to this. Sean Taylor, Ryan Clark, Charles Tillman, Eric Weddle, Quentin Jammer, Budda Baker, Patrick Peterson. He has coached greatness at the DB level. Mm-hmm. And so the player that is going to gain the most from this hire, and the thing I'm most excited about, Talanoa Hufanga.
Oh, yeah.
That is, he's only 1 year as a starter. That dude's career, incredible, all pro his first year as a starter. If it elevates at all, which I expect it to, we could be talking about the best safety of the next decade. It's a possibility to be there.
I think yesterday I was talking on a show, and I was saying, the cool thing about Talanoa Hufanga is, he struggled last year with communication. I thought that was his biggest thing. I thought there were too many guys out there communicating with him. This year he gets to lead the communication.
Dude, I think what you just said is huge. I haven't even thought about it because the communication was bad. Why was it bad? Jimmy Ward got hurt right before the season.
Right before
the guy who worked all off season with, he got hurt. You put in, Tyson Gibson, who was great, but Gibson had to learn from Hufanga. There's a reason why all those communication issues happened. And yeah, it looks bad on Hufanga, but that dude went from grasshopper to master really damn quick.
Super fast. And I know we saw his play decline a little bit, but that's geared to happen to a first year starter. You know what I'm saying? For a person that starts off, some people start off slow. Remember, he started off fast because he was still riding on the high of having the best safety the damn best safety tandem in the league. Jimmy Ward and Talanoa Hufanga was going to be the best safety tandem in the league. Unfortunately, Ward ended up getting hurt, and they signed Tyshawn Gibson, and they bring him in, and then they got to get
Right.
reacclimated, to the game plan. But Hufanga came out guns blazing. I think a lot of that helped because we had also Emmanuel Mosley, and you had Mooney Ward just locking down the outside. Didn't matter if it was zone or man, like they were locking it down. So it allowed Hufanga to play freely. So I'm excited. And the reason why I'm asking you this, you said that Hufanga benefits the most. I'm curious to know how he's going to help what's the word? Not produce, but continue to progress a player like Deommodore Lenore, who finished the season probably the strongest out of all of the DBs.
And he got a lot of the flack during the season too. I was getting texts and DMs like, "Man, get Demo out, get Demo out, and I was like, "Man, that dude ain't giving up a touch. He gave up one
Yeah,
touchdown. I think the whole season. Did he get posterized on some deep throws? Yes, he did. That's going to happen in a cover 3, cover 4 type system because you're leaving your corners on an island continuously. But that dude, John Lynch, whenever he had his presser at the combine, he made an effort to talk about the one big breakthrough player was Demo. And I think that the offseason strategy has been adjusted because of how well he played. It broke my heart seeing Emmanuel Mosley go elsewhere. I hated that. But I think a big reason why they were okay with that was because of Demo. He played so well filling in for Mosley whenever he went down with that injury that they were just like, you know what? We could save some money on this position. We can go young, get some young corners in here because of how well he played and the confidence they have in him. Hyena, baby.
yeah. And it's going to be, look, I'm excited for the secondary. I'm excited to see some blitzing. I'm a little nervous about the nickel blitzing because I'm not sure that's something you're going to get out of the new free agent, Isaiah Oliver, that they brought in. He's not even a free agent anymore. He's a 49er, so my apologies.
Yeah.
Are we going to get that? He didn't do much of that in Atlanta. He doesn't have many sacks. But does he have the speed? Is he going to
I
be the guy?
I think he really does. I think it was a scheme specific issue. One, because his first 2.5 years, he was an outside corner. You don't blitz outside corners very often. His last 2.5 years, he was inside corner. So nickel guy, but he also played safety. Like he bounced back and forth between nickel and safety. And so there were 4 consecutive plays I was watching. I think it was one of the Saints games last year where he was safety, one play, very next play, nickel, safety again, then nickel. Like he bounced back because they wanted to keep him on the field. But when a team goes 11 personnel, a lot of times you take your nickel out. They were saying, we want Isaiah Oliver in. We'll just take a safety out and bounce him back. And so the versatility is key. For the 49ers, I do believe his first kind of gig week 1 early in the season will be nickel predominantly, and Wilkes is going to blitz him. Now, the good news is if you look at how aggressive Isaiah Oliver is in the run game, 6th highest PFF score against the run for any defensive back, I think that will translate. He has 2 career sacks. He's aggressive. He's long. He's a very good tackler. I think that's part of his game that's going to kind of flourish this year. I really do.
I love it. We're going to take a small quick
Oh,
break for breaking news from our guy, Coach Cruz. The
best
Lions
there is, man.
re-signed Nate Sudfeld. Interesting, John. Interesting.
What a testament to if you again, I said earlier, if you are a part of the Shanahan Lynch, anything, you're going to get paid.
And you're going to have a
The
job.
fact that Nick Mullins is still a number 2 quarterback in this league is baffling to me. I love Nick Mullins. I'm glad he got paid. Nate Sudfeld, remember how everybody was so pissed off when they cut him on that $2 million
Guarantee.
salary?
Yeah.
Got picked up.
Yeah.
Niners didn't have to pay it. And he's still picked up. Shout out to Nate Sudfeld. Great dude. I would have been fine with him being our quarterback 3. The 49ers chose to elevate that with Sam Darnold over Sudfeld. I think everybody would take Darnold over Sudfeld. Happy for him, man. Very happy for him. Good deal.
Very happy. Very happy. Now, I got to ask a question that has nothing to do with football. Let me just ask a question. Do you have issues singing happy birthday like to dudes? Like it feels weird to sing the original happy birthday. Like if I can make up a different one.
I have issues singing anything because I'm so terrible. And if I sing anything to a dude, they're not gonna know if it's a mating call or if I'm like declaring war on somebody. It's so bad. So
So here's the
yeah,
thing. I don't have an issue. I just have an issue how they may receive it because I only know how to sing happy birthday one way, but I don't really give a because it's my show.
there you
Happy
go, man.
birthday out there to Crazy Juice. You're about to get the birthday song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I'm speeding it up. Happy birthday, Crazy Juice. Happy birthday to you. Let's go, baby. Happy birthday, Crazy Juice. You out there, man.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
I just didn't know how he was going to receive it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have an issue. Like,
Hey, man.
hey, yeah, it's what I do.
Celebrating people, that's always going to be on the positive side, man.
For sure, 100%. Any other interesting news from the new hires that we have? I mean, let's talk about Kubiak a little bit. What are your thoughts? We got the other brother, Kubiak in the building. So now we got Kubiak squared in the building. So let's talk a little bit about it.
Man, I think, everybody wants to attribute the outside zone to Shanahan. Daddy Shanahan's not the one that created that. It was Gary. It was Gary Kubiak. It was a Kubiak system. Shanahan learned under Kubiak, took it, and then took it to the next level. So the original OG outside zone blocking scheme and all that stuff, that's Gary Kubiak, these guys' dads. Now, I'll be honest, and I'm usually a very positive guy. One of my biggest negatives with Kyle Shanahan, who I love, I have as a top 4 coach in the NFL, is just how he doesn't like outsiders. He doesn't like giving new people opportunities. It's the Shanahan loyalty program, and he's got to keep people that he knows and trusts around him and not give new people as many shots as I would have liked. It's a big problem with the NFL in general. The fact there's still Ryans and Shanahans and Kubiaks and all that stuff. It's who you know, not what you know sometimes. But I think both these guys, the Vikings were pretty happy to see him go. They did not really enjoy his time with their team. So, but with the 49ers, he's not going to be calling plays. He's going to be helping with research, design, things like that. So I think it's a good hire. It's somebody Kyle trusts. I do wish there was some new blood coming in a little bit more, but that's just me. That's just me.
Yeah, man. I trust whoever Kyle brings in the building.
Same.
At the end of the day, you're gonna get good coaching, and then at the end of the day, we end up with draft picks somehow, some way. It's just the way that it works. And so I'm cool with it. I'm glad to see what's gonna be. What do you think is gonna be different though with the 49ers, like coaching wise? I mean, still Kyle runs the team, but I'm looking at Klint Kubiak. He's gonna be defensive quality control. Like, what the hell does that even mean?
So basically, the quality control coach, they are the ones that prep a lot. So if I'm a position coach, what I would tell my GA, again, GA in the high school and, college levels, same. Yeah, very good. So I'd say, hey, man, I need to find out what this team does on 3rd and 3 or less. How many people in the box? How do they line up versus 21? Where do they blitz from? All those things. Like, they're trying to find all the little minutia on, okay, if we run, if we're in a 3-by-1 to the left side, how often are they playing man or quarters or halves on the backside? Things like that. And so you're just, it's a constant, it's grunt research and just finding out little bitty tidbits that the coordinators can exploit.
That's what I like to hear, man. Real quick, we got another super chat contribution. Mimi B in the place to be. It's Friday. Let's get it. Bang, bang. Let's go,
That's
Mimi.
awesome, man.
Shout out to you, Mimi. Thank you so much. We appreciate you over here. Ah, man. All right, let's keep it moving, man. So, look, the new hires have officially been announced. They've been on the team for a long time. We just weren't sure, I was on Nothing But Niners last night. We had Jason on here, and he was explaining how the coaches even got paid. And he was trying to tell everybody, listen, they don't even get paid out of the salary cap. There's a whole different type of money. So is this an owner's expense?
100% owner's expense and does not have to be let out. So a lot of the NFL coaches, you don't need, you'll never figure out exactly how much they make. The only reason why we know what any coaches make is because of the Green Bay Packers, because they're a publicly traded company. They have to divulge everything publicly.
Okay.
So Yeah, you could find out. They're kind of the measuring stick for what coaches make, and so you can kind of figure those things out. But we'll never know. And again, this doesn't come out of salary cap. This is 100% just out of Jed York's pocket. So I hope they're making as much money as possible. Anytime somebody gets paid, it is time to celebrate. Celebrating other people's success is a wonderful thing that leads to happiness, in my opinion.
Real talk. I mean, that's from John Chapman, man. Like John Chapman to me is Gandalf the Grey and the White put together, right? Like, you know, both of them. That's who I look at you. You're the wise one, you know, or the Yoda. If you guys watch Star Wars, he's the Yoda. I'm not saying you're man. Old, bro, but you're just the master.
There's a lot of similarities, physical appearance wise. I'm just going to be honest.
That is not where I was going with this, but okay. All right.